Hello all, this is Charvak Lokayat and I welcome you all to today's new topic. This will not be related to history, but this will be related to science. Uh, Basically, you would have seen the Facebook post where they will be comparing that Western scientists are mentioned and Indian mathematicians are not mentioned. So today I'll be taking a deeper look at this, that is this really true? Actually, it's not true. If somebody has really gone through the NCERT textbooks and CBSE textbooks in their 6th standard, 7th standard, and they have gone through the 9th standard, they cannot say that only one group is mentioned and the other group is like not mentioned. So I will be covering this in a little bit of detail, but in the meanwhile I encourage you all to like my video, comment on it, share it, and wherever you see such posts which compares Indian versus Western scientist, do share this video and post the link there. Let me look at today's post, Facebook post, which is commonly shared. This is one common Facebook post which is shared everywhere in social media. It says, scientists praised in our books: Galileo, Newton, Copernicus, Dalton. Scientists who should be praised in our book: Brahmagupta, Aryabhatta, Varahamihira, Kanad. Now, I would like to highlight one thing. If you read the 6th and 7th standard books, you have the bottom half: Brahmagupta, Aryabhatta, Varahamihira, Kanad. Kanad is not mentioned, but Brahmagupta, Aryabhatta and Brahmagupta are mentioned. I will go into a detail why Kanad is not mentioned. Galileo, Newton, Copernicus, Dalton are the high school. In high school textbooks they are mentioned. I hope the author knows that, whoever posted this. Let me look at the Kanad thing. Kanad is known that he probably gave an atomic theory, but let's me look at Democritus. He was the first around 5th or 4th century BC that he gave the atomic theory. He was born around 460 BC, died around 370 BC. So 5th and 4th century BC, he gave the atomic theory of the universe. So he was the first ancient Greek philosopher. Okay. Now I'll come back to the Vaisheshik Sutras. Now Vaisheshik Sutras belong to a school of philosophy called as Vaisheshik, and it is said to be founded by Kanad, which you just saw in the Facebook post. Now why Kanad is not mentioned, that I'll come back a little later, but Vaisheshik Sutras are like, as you can see highlighted, they're composed around 2nd century BC, and the currently existing ones are at the start of the Common Era. That's what the research is. And by the way, I am quoting from Wikipedia, so I encourage you all to look at those boxes for references and make sure you confirm all my references. Okay. So Kanad, he is said to be the founder of Vaisheshik school of philosophy, and as far as birth date is concerned, it seems unclear. Various suggestion goes from 6th century to 2nd century BC with no proper conclusions. Okay, and that's his school of thought. So this is one reason why his name is not mentioned even in the 6th and 7th standard textbook, because ambiguity. And here is a research. The century in which Kanad lived is unclear and have been a subject of long debate. In his review of 1961, Ribe states Kanad lived sometimes before 300 CE, but convincing evidence to firmly put him in a certain century remains elusive. So as I said, he probably lived somewhere before 300 CE, but there is no firm evidence that which century to classify him. And here is another thing which is said. The ideas of Kanad span a wide range of fields, and they influenced not only philosophy but possibly scholars in fields such as Charak, who wrote medical text Charak Samhita. So for your people to know who is Charak, Charak belonged to around 1st, 2nd century. So most likely the school of thought and the author probably belonged to that period. Maybe most likely. Okay. But the author of the Facebook post forgets you had heterodox of school of thought as well, who actually propounded these things. So Ajivak, one of the Gnostic or heterodox school of Indian, believed in, founded by 5th century BC by Makkali Ghoshal. Shraman, and it rivaled early Buddhism, Jainism, Vedic. The precise identity of Ajivak is not well known if they were divergent sect of Buddhists or Jains. They were organized as renunciates who formed discrete communities, and this was a heterodox of school of thought which didn't believe in the Vedas. Okay, this is 5th century BC, which I am talking about. Ajivak philosophy, otherwise referred to as Ajivikism in Western, reached the height of its popularity during the rule of Mauryan Emperor Bindusara around the 4th century BC. This school of thought thereafter declined but survived in the southern states of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. The Ajivak, along with Charvak, appealed most to the warrior, industrial, and mercantile classes of ancient Indian society. As you can see, they had more to do with, kind of non-supernaturalism, more to do with materialism, so you can understand why they appealed to those class of people. Here is the thing. Ajivak developed a theory of elements and atoms similar to the Vaisheshik school of Vedics. Everything was composed of minuscule according to Ajivaks, and qualities of things are derived from aggregate of atoms, but the aggregation and the nature of these atoms was predetermined by the cosmic forces. So this was the take of the Ajivak school of position. So the Facebook author will never bother to mention that you didn't have just Vedic school of thought, darshan belonging to that thing. You had heterodox school of thought as well, claiming to atomism. Indian atomism, ancient India, it says like Vedic say Jaruni, who lived in 8th century, and you can see in the quotation dubious discuss because we don't know. Some scholars such as Herman Jacobi and Randall Collinson have compared Aruni to Thales of Miletus. So I encourage people to click on the link Thales of Miletus to understand the methodology. And both as primitive physicists of proto-material. Later, the Charvaka and Ajivak schools of atomism originated as early as 7th century BC. So as you can see, 7th century BC, you already had materialist school of thought discussing on that. Those who say Aryabhatta is not mentioned in textbook, read this. Humans have always been obsessed about that. Aryabhatta was a famous ancient astronomer in ancient India. He said that moon and other planet get their luminosity due to reflected sunlight. And today astronomers are researching about universe. This is from the 6th standard science textbook. Here is from a 6th standard maths textbook, which talks about this. It is said that algebra as a branch of mathematics began around 1550 BCE, 3000 years ago, 3500 years ago, when people in Egypt started using symbols to denote unknown number. Around 300 BC, use of letter to denote unknowns and forming expression. Indian mathematician Aryabhatta, 5th century, Brahmagupta, 6th century, Mahavira, 9th century, Bhaskara to 12th century, and other contributed to study of algebra. The word algebra is derived from the title book of Al-Jabar, written in the 9th century by an Arab mathematician Muhammad ibn al-Khwarizmi of Baghdad. Okay, and the names given here in India was Bij, Varna, etc. Writing books on science. This is from the history textbook of 6th standard. I'm going to share the links to PDF links to download this NCRT, history and science chapters to verify that. This was also a time when Aryabhatta, a mathematician and astronomer, wrote a book in Sanskrit known as Aryabhattiyam. Varahamihir, Brahmagupta and Bhaskaracharya were some other mathematician and astronomer who made several discoveries, tried to find out more about them. Ayurveda is well known. The two famous practitioners of Ayurveda in ancient India were Charak 1st, 2nd century and Sushruta 4th century CE. Sushruta Samhita and Charak Samhita. So that covers up all and everything to know what you are supposed to know actually. Okay, it's not a conspiracy, and again, these how you cannot go to a high school, read high school textbooks mentioning Newton, Dalton, Copernicus, Galileo without reading your 6th standard, 7th standard textbooks of history and science and mathematics, right? So this shows that author either hasn't read 6th 7th standard mathematics textbook, or either he forgets or he is trying to mislead whoever is posting those sort of thing on social media. So I highly encourage you to share this video, like my channel, subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon, and thanks for watching this video. And why I will tell we need Newton Dalton next